Yo, just catching up on the videos here. Timio, that was a great list, great breakdown. It got me thinking a lot. Um, I said, one, I'm very, like I said, I know I used to be maybe the information guy. I know Kari definitely is now for generations. Like, I feel like I met a lot of those people that you mentioned, which is pretty cool uh, in its own right. I don't know if I ever met the Blade of Justice. I can't remember that one offhand. But yeah, a lot of those other people, like I've run into in game, like not in movie, but like in game and stuff like that, which was pretty crazy. Like Nemesis, I ran into in game, and Nemesis, like the only thing I would add to what you said is, Gazer is like is kind of that universe destroying character, whereas Nemesis is like your one-on-one fighter. Like I don't know that Nemesis ever showed like amazing destructive capabilities. He's just like he's kind of I mean like maybe kind of like Ace, but like I'll get into Ace here in a second. But yeah, like Nemesis seems like you don't need to be able to destroy something massive. Like once you get to that certain level of power, you don't like that. The destruction of a planet is nothing. Like the force required to do it. It's more about your proficiency with like combat at those high levels. So it's like it's kind of like Gazer's the blaster that sits back there and just obliterates everything if he needs to. But like you can reach a level as evidenced by like people like Nemesis where that you can walk through those destructive blasts. Like it's like kind of one of those ones like imagine you're at like a supernova of a star. It's like if you can withstand that, Gazer's not going to hurt you. Like your durability or your absorption or your resistance to that kind of stuff, like cosmic feats have a certain level, whereas like mystical kind of things have a. I'm not saying Nemesis is mystical, but it's like that you don't have to obey the same laws of physics that like cosmic beings usually do. Um, so it's like the hottest heat you might be able to create is like that of a detonating star, and that's an immense amount of heat and energy. But like you could there's ways around that kind of thing. So yeah, like definitely like shout outs to Nemesis being higher on that list because yeah, he's pretty nuts. Ace is one of those people. Like I don't know. Like to me, Ace is everything, but Ace is everything for different reasons. Uh, I never viewed Ace as like that powerful. I did not know that he killed Nemesis. That is freaking nuts. But Ace, I feel like absolutely operates on that mystic scale where there's something that he does, whether it's the Vanishing Blade or anything like that, that sets him above and beyond. Like that he doesn't follow traditional rules of power structure. And I said, I think that's like, I'm not saying Ace is mystic, but like, I feel like that's on some mystical level stuff where you can kind of bend the rules with that kind of thing. Whereas a lot of people that we run into follow a more traditional, you know, I'm faster because my muscles are stronger kind of thing, or like my energy is more powerful. That kind of stuff. Like Ace isn't bound by that kind of stuff. And like I said, my experiences with him is limited. He was competing in one of the underworld tournaments whenever Zeratul and Drath arrived there, and he was killing it, like effortlessly taking out people. But like again, the people he was taking out, I don't think like they were near the like like I want to say like they were Super Saiyan 2 or something like that. Like they were not nice by any means. So it's possible if Ace is taking out Nemesis, he has some way to kind of equalize power levels or like circumnavigate like the gaps that exist between people because like yeah, he was doing it pretty effortlessly and everything like that, and maybe he would have made his way up further and got to like the everything people, but yeah, like I from what I saw of Ace, like I would not put him on the level of being able to kill Nemesis, but like as you said, he did. So that's definitely saying something for Ace. But Ace is the man, and no one should ever forget that. Like he's one of the he's one of my favorite generations NPCs. Uh, yeah, people like the Herald. Like I said, it's one of those ones. I had a lot of experience approximate to him, but I didn't have anyone. I never played a character that could effectively gauge his power. And that was a lot of the people, like even like the Disciple and stuff like that. Like I remember the Disciple I used to run into. Like I said, the Disciple and the Master are two characters that I used to run into in my older characters. But I had like they were just so much better than me. I had no way to ever gauge their power. And like I said, I feel like I feel like you guys have gotten in a couple more of those like world destroying movies or like those power bump movies, so you can kind of see where people stack up. Like to me, I don't think I can make an effective top 10 list for Generations, because it would just be these 10 people I think are everything, but like I can't tell you who's number one, who's number two, who's number three, anything like that, because I don't know if that I've seen the upper limits of their power. Like I don't think I've ever tested them at that kind of thing. It's just I know that they were everything above me. So like I'm just kind of going off of my little peon status that that was Zeratul, and to a lesser extent Atticus. And like I said, it's one of those ones. It's very like I think until you get into kind of those movies, or you get yourself a character that is everything in its own right that can hang with these people in the list, like it's really hard to discern. So I don't think I could add anything more to it. I do like the question. Hopefully this video satiates that kind of the opinions and stuff like that. Like the people you mentioned, I would say are all on my list. The people that I knew of. I don't know if I would add anyone else. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is Draft Stand, but you said about like No Sector World. See, I thought Nemesis was an underworld quadrant leader. I'm pretty sure him and Draft's dad had some word. Maybe Nemesis wasn't, because he did back down from Draft's dad. What was Draft's dad's name? I forget. Wow, it's sad because I remembered it like a couple weeks ago. Now I forget it. But yeah, like I remember like Nemesis wanted to kill us, and Draft's dad was like, "No, you're not gonna do that." And I was like, I'm pretty sure he was protecting Draft, but hey, I was along for the ride, much as Zeratul was. Even though he did make that top 10 list for Sean, which I gotta respect. I wasn't even gonna disrespect his list because he put Zeratul in it, because I was like, you know what? To be fair, Zeratul has been approximate to all these powerful people, and he did survive a lot. And it took a minion to kill him, and the minion didn't even kill him; he killed himself. So you know what? He deserves that spot. I'm not gonna take away from your list, Sean. It was a good list. But yeah, like as far as Generations goes, like I feel like I met a lot of people, but I don't have the tools to properly gauge their power, or the experience to properly gauge their power. Like I just know like that they were everything, and like to me it was even crazy to hear like the Herald. I think after hearing him, like that the Herald was above a lot of the sector leaders. Like, oh, that's nuts. I might have heard it before. I definitely forgot it, but yeah, like Sword of the Ancients Herald is everything, and he's definitely up there. Like I said, I think like people like Stargazer, they're just on the scope of just so far beyond, but like they're not necessarily potent fighters. And I think that's one of the things with Cosmic Energy is like Cosmic Energy is great for killing people who are not everything. But like at the higher levels, like when you get like that kind of mystical kind of things, like the Swords of the Ancients and stuff like that, then the Cosmic Energy falls off a little bit. Like yeah, it can create a galaxy, and yeah, it can destroy a galaxy and everything like that. But it doesn't have the potency for those one-on-one encounters for like those everything people. But Stargazer is still the man. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Yeah, like I'm actually curious. Like the Disciple, I don't know how many. He was an older character that I met, and I didn't know anything about him. I just knew his name. And like there was the Master and the Disciple. I feel like, man, what was like? Okay, so Tamir was saying like the Master was a quadrant leader, and like the leader of the Dark Stalkers. I seem to remember, and again, this is like Atticus days. This is very, very old and very, very faded. That there was a Disciple, and then there was like a Master. Like there was two people that we always ran into together, and they were everything. Like they were like as far as fighters go. Now, like I said, so I could not gauge their powers. They were just everything compared to Atticus. So yeah, I just remember them being a bit of a duo though. Like they seemed to work together. I seem to run into them in a lot of movies. We could not beat them. Like I said, I don't feel like we got as many. Maybe I'm just misremembering. We didn't get as many power bump movies back then, just because there was probably so much stuff that we could do as new. You know, a lot of people had new and fresh characters, so it's like you didn't need that power bump, and everyone was like. I guess I liken a lot of like the older game days to kind of like the X-Men compared to a Cosmic Saga. Like whereas people like Sage and X and stuff like that, like they're on some like next level stuff because they've been around for so long. Whereas in the college days, like characters didn't tend to last long. They got killed off a lot easier. a lot quicker. Which, you know, wasn't necessarily bad because you did get to try something new, experience a new aspect of the world, everything like that. Like Celentrians are still probably my favorite race within real world. Um, as far as like races that I've come across and characters I've played, stuff like that. Like I don't know, New Itari are kind of up there at the moment, even though they're not powerful. But like I really like the way that they kind of work, and I'm curious to see where they do go. Is if they do get more powerful, but who we kidding on that one? Cass is never gonna be powerful. But yeah, like I lost my train of thought. Um, Oh yeah. Like I said, with older characters like that, I don't feel like we got the bumps as much, and like we got killed by Meteor Throwing guy, which was he Orbit? I don't know. I don't even know his name. He was just like Planet Throwing dude. But yeah, like I said, there's definitely some everything characters out there, but I don't think I was in the position most of the time to properly gauge those characters powerful. I just know those characters powers. I just know that they were powerful. But yeah, that was a great list time here, and Sean also, that was good. Address a couple things really quick. Kree, the character creation looked pretty cool there. There's definitely some games out there. Like I still say that like Champions and City of Heroes like are pretty awesome for being able to create stuff. And one of the things that like those kind of games also do is that you can get like the more abstract type characters. Like I'm not saying like abstract as in like without physical form, but like the more celestial realm characters. Like yeah, the demon chick is cool and not taken away from that or anything like that. But like you get in like some of those cosmic looking things and stuff. You know, it's like you could do some cool stuff. I'll throw up a second video here of messing around in the character creator to kind of give you an idea of what I was talking about, like with some of like the spectrum armor type people that City of Heroes has. And I'll see if I can boot up Champions too. I can't. The thing is, like City of Heroes, I know the character creator. Like I know how to navigate it quickly, so I can make something on the fly. But like, what's it called? Champions, I don't know. So I'd be kind of like lost exploring around it. That'd be probably too long for a video. This video is already probably long enough. All right, we'll cut it there.